So, this is the new NASCAR San Diego street course at Naval Base Coronado. Um, I saw online that there's no lap guides for this yet, and I saw a lot of people, including myself, struggling with this track in the 13th week series. So figured might as well put a lap guide out there to try to help some people out. And disclaimer, I'm no professional. I've done like a decent amount of laps around here, and I think I found out how to be pretty decently fast. Like I've been able to put up lap times that were like right on with the fastest lap times I saw in practice sessions and races. So let's get started here. So into turn one here, I like to brake about right at this two board and shift down to third and then turn in slightly after. Make sure you don't hit this inside wall here, it'll send you right out into this wall out here. And get back over to the right, small lift over the crest, make sure you don't take off too badly, and then brake decently before the three. Get on the anchors, down to first, through this first corner, pretty typical left-hander at a street course, up to second, and make sure that you're very careful on the throttle, as you're probably used to with NASCARs on road courses, especially street courses, because as you can see, you can easily get wheel spin. Into turn three here, braking at about the three, about a little after the three, right before this dip, very lightly. As you go over the dip, you can see my brake pressure goes down, then back up once we get down here, down to first, and make sure you downshift from first after this little dip here, because if you downshift during that, that'll really unsettle the car. So make sure you're settled at the bottom. I actually probably downshifted a little too early, but downshift once your car is settled, and then turn in. Very careful on the throttle. Up into second. Trail brake. Not really just trail braking, no crazy brake. And get on the throttle. Try to meet these, I don't really know what these are, but these little like concrete patches. If you hug this corner too much, there's a pretty bad bump there. You still kind of get it taking this line, but if you go out wider, I found that the bumps are a lot more manageable. Up into third, slight misshift, up into fourth. Then I'm braking about right in between this 3 and 2 board, and down into second, turn it in, and then I use these little 25s on the asphalt right when you can kind of see them. That's where I start to throttle up. It feels like it's too early, but this corner actually ends sooner than you think it does, so that usually works pretty well for me. And then right here with these little, under this bridge, the stop text and then the two crosswalks, there's a big dip here. And you can see I lift there. If you go flat over that, your rear wheels will spin like crazy. So I lift like that just to try to get the load off of the rear wheels, try to save some rear tire. But if you're just going for hot laps, you can go full throttle over that, no problem. You get a lot of wheel spin. So flat out through this left-hander, and then as soon as you see like the Red Bull advertisement up there, that's when you're on the anchors, down into first, very slow, tight right left. Reminds me of Detroit in the IndyCar calendar. Very careful on the throttle. And down into this area, I try to brake about where the blue Camping World advertisement starts. Down into first, hug the wall, start to get on the throttle. Again, be very careful on the throttle. And then I start to turn in and brake about the same time and about a little before the one board. I actually probably did a little late because I kind of missed the apex there. And then try to get over to the right, but not too much because this is just a little left-handed kink. Right-handed kink, and then into this section. So for this section, I'm actually going to go ahead and go to another lap because this lap I didn't get this section quite great. So I'm going to switch over to another lap. Alright, so here we are in a different lap. So this is a really tricky part of the track, hence why I kind of messed it up on the last lap I was showing you. So I use like you can kind of see that this fence here is not perfect and there's kind of like dents in it almost. And I break like right in between like the first and second dent there, kind of closer to the second dent in the fence, if you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Like right here, you can see this kind of dent in the fence. Break about there, go down to first. You can take this part in second. You can take pretty much every corner in this track one gear up if you're um want to be conservative and make sure you don't spin your tires too much. So yeah, into first here. Very technical part. There's a big dip here, so make sure really soft on the throttle. And then I'm braking about as soon as I get over this, whoops. As soon as I get over this line here, hug the wall, careful on the throttle, up to second. And then here I like to brake in between the 1 and 2 boards. So brake there, down to second, trail brake it off, hug that corner. This section of the track is a lot more open and fast than the other parts, so just keep that in mind. So trail brake through there. And then this is a pretty fast right-hander, so just a little lift. Then make sure I would actually lift a little more through here, because as you'll see, this kind of compromises my run to this left hand around the tires, which usually, like, this tire barrel is a lot further to the left than it really looks like as you first come around here. So just barely miss the barrel, and make sure not to hit the wall like I did. And then for this last chicane, I am also going to go back to the original lap we were on. So I'll see you there. Alright, it's time for the last chicane. So coming out of this turn, I like to brake about where the red RB starts, maybe a little bit later, but definitely starting right when the wall switches from black to red. Down to second, down to first, and just left, right. This is a really nice double apex. It flows really well. And then on the throttle, be very careful. I don't know if it's like just a bump, but there's just like no grip coming off the corner here. So be very careful on the throttle so you don't get wheel spin. And then for this last kink, I like to brake right at the barrels, trail brake in, as close to the wall as possible, except there is a bit of a bump as you get close to the wall, so it might actually be quicker to not cut right next to the wall, but that's what I done this lap and it works just fine. And then get on the gas, and that is your lap around Naval Base Coronado, or Coronado. So yeah, hopefully this was helpful, and I will now play an uninterrupted lap, and I will also splice the better lap through that one section in, so everything should be about what you want to do. So yeah, let me know if you guys want more videos like this. I'm down to make more lap guide videos, though I do usually do IndyCar stuff, but I am a sucker for street courses, so I had to give this a shot. So hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you next lap guide maybe.